Hi guys, welcome back to another episode 2 of the Dream Big series. So we're getting this underway now. We'll start putting out some episodes on training, nutrition, posing potentially, do some physique updates through this period of time at different stages. But today's going to be a full back session, so it is Tuesday. I trained chest and abs yesterday, pull today, rest day tomorrow. This is probably my favourite day of the week because we solely hit back, hitting the back from different angles, upper back lats, erectors, traps, pretty much mid back, everything gets hit today. In today's session, it's pretty much like six or seven movements, literally just for back. So this is just going to take you through this now. Potentially do a voiceover, probably end up doing anyway for training, because I don't really like to get on the camera in training. I just like to focus and get done, get the session done. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to run through today's session, show you what the current back session is and what has been the back session for the last 6 months, and probably will take us through till show day pretty much, obviously until we start to reduce volume and bring down maybe certain movements as we get very close to the show. But for the majority of this prep, this will be the back session. So we'll take you through this now. Checking today, weight wise I was 121.2, another new low weigh-ins every day pretty much. I've dropped weight. We started on Monday last week, I think it was about 125, so a good 4 kilo over the last 7 days, well 8 days, which is quite good, which is what we wanted, because we want to be quite aggressive with this first few weeks of prep, just to shed some body fat, some water. Obviously most of that is water weight. We're not going to be dropping 4 kilo of fat that quickly, but body composition is much better. Definitely feel tighter, definitely the fluffiness has gone pretty much. Pretty much just my face really, the jawline is coming back, starting to feel less moon-like in the face. But no, I feel good, feel ready for another week. No cardio today, cardio was yesterday, so at the moment we're doing five cardio sessions, which I probably explained on the introduction, but 5 cardio sessions. 3 of those sessions on my upper body days for training, and I'll do that post-workout. Because obviously I train fasted, so I train and then do cardio post-workout after posing, and then 2 other cardio sessions on my rest days. So the cardio sessions on my upper body days about 20 minutes, my rest day cardio is 45 minutes, so again I'll go in fasted on my rest day and smash out cardio, hit some steps as well. Steps at the moment are 8,000. Obviously there's no correlation between counting steps during cardio, they are 2 separate things. So 8,000 steps is literally just the steps, and cardio is separate. And that's pretty much it for now. Like I said, rest day tomorrow, so Wednesday and Sundays are my rest days. The rest of the days are training days. And yeah, posing was good today, literally just went through mandatories. I'll do another posing session after this session, the back session. I'll just go through another round because I did a round this morning, and then I'm also doing a posing round in the evening as well, after my last meal before bed, just again to just go through movements and hit the mandatories hard. I'm holding for about 6 to 7 seconds per pose. Same intensity as I would on stage. It's not just light posing, it's proper posing as I would on stage. So we want to kind of replicate what we're going to do on stage as many times as we can in training. So, you know, obviously on show day, your main thing you're there to do is pose. You're not there to do anything else, so it needs to be dialed in. And I just want to get ahead of the game and make sure my mind's right when I want to get to show day. Comfortable enough not to have to think too much on show day about what I need to do. I just want to chill out, make sure stress levels are as low as possible, because the body's only going to work if it's not stressed. You start entering some complications once stress levels go too high or anxiety sets in. Your body can do some crazy things, and it can change very, very quickly on show day, because you're so low body fat, you're so depleted, you're putting all your carbohydrates in, or you had been, you know, on the carb up. And then show day is just about manipulating that and making sure that we peak right. So making sure stress levels are as low as possible and my headspace is in a good enough place is the main thing for me. So ticking boxes early on, getting stuff done, making sure that the checklist is getting ticked off is a big thing for me on a daily basis, because I know it sets me up to have a good show day and a good run into show, where I don't have to think. You know, I can kind of just let Luke do all the thinking for me, and he'll just tell me what to do on the day. I just do what he says pretty much, and follow the plan, and then execute on stage the best I can. So yeah, I'm going to get into pool now. Intra workout at the moment. Intra workout's outside, but still 100 gram of carbs in my intra workout. 10 grams essential amino acids, 5 grams creatine, 2 servings of electrolytes, and that's been pretty much standard on my every single training day. I don't really veer off from doing that. Obviously carbohydrates will start to drop as the weeks go on, and I'll focus more carbohydrates in food obviously, but for now training's still in a good place. I'm still able to push, so I kind of like to have that energy in the morning, especially when training fasted. I think it's important for me to get some carbs in during training and just help me withstand the time that I'm in the gym. Obviously being in off season, being in growth phase, we have a lot more weight on us, so sessions usually take me 2.5 to 3 hours. Well, I say 2.5 for upper body days, lower body days take about 3 hours to train. But then once body fat starts to come off, my endurance gets better, my rest periods get shorter, so I'm able to crack out a session in under 2.5 hours, which is quite good for me, because I like to have my rest periods. I like to make sure that I'm fully rested before going into each set, because my volumes are quite low, fairly low, probably like three working sets per movement at most. So I want to, you know, it's usually like 2 top sets and 1 back off, or even just 1 top set and 1 back off. So I want to make sure I'm fully rested. So that's why it just takes me a longer period of time to train. I'm not too bothered about having to time my rest periods or making sure that I'm getting straight back into a set. I just take my time, get my breathing back to normal, or somewhat normal, where I know I can perform at the best I can for the next set. So we're going to go in now, get started. I'll film basically just my top sets pretty much, but just give you an overview on the voiceover of what I'm doing from each movement, what sets, reps, etc. So it will probably just be one clip for each movement, but it'll be kind of enough once you've got the talking behind it and stuff. So yeah, we will see you in. I'll probably do an outro after I've been posing, so see you then. So just going to run through this pull session. Managed to film all of my pull movements instead of missing some out, so this should be good. This whole session is pretty much focused on back. There's no bicep movements or anything other than back work, so we're hitting the back from every single angle, which you'll see on the movements where we're hitting, and kind of why we're doing the certain movements. So starting with barbell rows on the Smith machine. I did start on the free bar, but I'm able to keep more control on the Smith machine, to be fair. So we kind of moved on to this. probably for the past, I'd say, 3 to 4 months. I've been doing this, so I will stay on this for the whole of prep, I presume, I think, until Luke changes his mind and kind of maybe takes it out due to trying to focus on a bit of recovery and a bit less on big compound work. So one top set, one back off on this, so quite low volume. I actually filmed both my top set and back off, so you'll see my top set here. Form is slightly off. I want to work on this next week, but that was new load. With food going down as well and cardio up, I've seen quite a shift in my training due to what I just said. So trying to get back onto adapting to the new to this loads, whilst being lighter, less body fat, a bit less vulnerable when it comes to bracing and stuff. So this one back off set. Top set was a 5 to 8. Back off is I think 12 to 14 on this. So you'll see reps are obviously much better on this back off set, as I wanted to kind of improve from the top set. Again, hitting erectors, upper back lats, just a big back movement to start the session and get us kind of warm and ready to go. One thing I do like with the Smith machine barbell rows is the eccentric portion of the movement I can control more so than doing it free bar. I kind of like to get a big stretch on this because obviously the loads we're using is heavy, so the most amount of load I can put through the lat. See my arm going pretty much straight out, which is stretching the lat down. Reps are a bit faster on the back off, which I don't mind. I kind of just like to create and pool as much blood into the lats and upper back as I can. So, but yeah, barbell rows are good. Start to the session. Into kind of our second compound movement. This is our heavy pull down, using a neutral grip on this. So I find doing this one is a much better way than doing the other grip, pronated grip. So using the neutral grip, again, lat movement, so driving elbows down, tucking elbows down towards the pocket. Again, stretch is a big thing on this. I've loaded the middle pin and the top pin so that it kind of drops off in the in the contraction, so I'm able to get a good contraction on this through most of the set, and then really try and stretch. As you can see, looks like you can get a bit more stretch on that, but I might try that for next week, which is one of the pluses about filming sets. I'm able to see. So one top set, one back off on this. Pull day is pretty much, in terms of sets and reps, is pretty much the same. In terms of top set, back off, pretty much one of each. I think my next movement we go on to is a two top set and one back off. But that's kind of how we kind of work things at the moment. Single arm prime row, probably the most awkward, not difficult, but just awkward movement to do, because it's single arm, and just the bracing that you have to do with the core to keep yourself stable. Also having to you'll see in a minute, you're having to use both my hands to kind of shift the weight up to get it moving, it's probably its heaviest point where it is right now, and then trying to shift that up, which you'll see, to get it started requires a lot of my energy, even though they're pretty easy, it's not. And then, as you can see, keeping my arms close to my lat as possible and just dragging back and forth, really trying to get that lat as short as I can. Again, good stretch, keeping the body pretty much in the same position, and not really moving around too much, just letting the lat stretch and letting the lat contract. T-bar rows, thrown in, what was that, third to last. You could say this was another compound movement. It's another heavy movement, but I think adding these heavy movements in here and there for back is good. Is what we need to kind of put some added tissue on and dense tissue as well. So I've been progressing nicely on this. This was quite a shock to the system when I pulled this. You'll see it moves pretty smoothly for about 8 reps. I think I went for a 9th. I wasn't supposed to. So a nice progression on there of 1 to 2 reps, but it just moved well this week. Didn't think it would. I think I was aiming for about 6 on this because it's got a new load on. So I probably have last off season, but with this good form, this is probably the best, one of the best T-bar sets I've done. But it's just moving well. I didn't think it would. Again, a little bit of swinging there. I'm not too bothered about, as long as my arms are going pretty much all the way back, which they are on most of the reps, then I'm happy. So a little bit of chest off the pad, I'm not too bothered about. Mid back pull down. We're kind of going pretty heavy on this at the moment. I'm using, if you can just see the red band in the middle of your screen at the top, that is attached to the stack above it and to the bar. You'll see when I pull down, you'll see how wide it is. But again, just to add a bit more tension on, make the movement a bit harder, because as you can see, I'm already stacking the Cybex with a 10 kilo on the side, which actually feels better than not having the 10 kilo on there. Form's pretty good. Again, just bringing those shoulders down, elbows down, really trying to drag with the elbows and contract that mid back, because again, this is a mid back pull down, not lat. So I'm kind of leaning back, which I mean to do, to hit that mid back, and then pulling pretty much directly to my chin, and that's pretty much that one. That was one top set and one back off on that. And then to finishes off reverse pec deck. Love this machine. It's probably the smooth. I do this twice a week at the moment, one on my delt day and one on my back day. There's no way that you cannot hit your rear delts by doing this. Even if your form was bad, you're still going to hit your rear delts because of how the machine is set up, as long as you've got the seat in the right place. But we go on this for 3 sets, 3 straight sets on this, for like 10 to 12, I think, or 10 to 14. We're just going to failure on each. So that's actually the next day. I didn't do an outro yesterday. I just wanted to eat and get home after doing the steps and posing. So I'm just going to wrap it up now. That was the pull session from today, or yesterday. Went through all the movements, really good session. It was actually progressed quite. My title on my post on Instagram was Expect the Unexpected. Reason being, obviously at the moment with food down, cardio up at quite a drastic level as well. Like we're being a bit aggressive with this first few weeks because we want to kind of get a big chunk of weight off. Training is obviously going to take a bit of a hit. I'm still lifting the same, don't get me wrong, I'm still trying to hit numbers, trying to progress, trying to maintain, but I can just feel obviously the deflation of the body, obviously because of the dropping carbohydrates. I just don't have that same brace, I don't have that same power that I did when we were having on-track meals, the food was higher, and things like that. So to kind of chase progression at the moment is what I'm trying to do, obviously, or just trying to match numbers. That's kind of what I'm trying to do, and so that's kind of the mindset. Obviously always going in, but obviously getting little setbacks, maybe not hitting numbers as much as I'm trying. Obviously trying always trying 110% whenever I train. So that is not an issue for me, but just not having the food and nutrition behind me to hit my top sets that I was when food was higher. I'm not saying all top sets, I'm mainly saying push sessions, legs and progressing on everything pretty much, back and progressing on everything. Even today, I'm talking today as it's the same video. Progress numbers on more than half movements today. So I was pretty happy with that. And then T-bar row, I managed to progress with new load, like 2 or 3 reps. So things like that happen weird. So I kind of need to expect that sometimes to happen as well on a few movements. So that's kind of the mindset going in. Overall, it was a good session. No cardio yesterday because it is like it's one of the bigger sessions, like legs. So legs and back, I don't do cardio on. And I'm train fasted, so I do cardio after training at the moment. So today is a rest day, Wednesday, the day after back. So I did just done cardio this morning, 45 minutes. Obviously fasted. We're using, I can talk about it a bit more in here because Instagram's a bit touchy with things like this, but we introduced Clem Yihimban 1 week ago. So that went in, and I just have that before cardio, like 20 minutes before cardio, at the lowest dose at the moment, and obviously that will get probably increased over a few weeks ahead. As prep goes on, body weight drops, fat drops, the doses will increase slightly. So they went in, cardio done, 45 minutes, 30 minutes of steps done, and then just done 2 rounds of posing right now, and 2 rounds of my routine, which I think I'm going to do the same as last year because I liked it, it's good, I know it, and I think it shows off my best shots. So I think I'm going to use that one. So I'm just going to go over that probably near enough every day. I felt quite good doing it today. There was just a few things with timing which I just need to clear up, but that is just literally just going over and over and over and practicing until I nail the timing. But that's pretty much it. Because obviously you've got to hit certain shots on certain parts of the song, obviously to fit it in. So because you only get, I think it's a minute. It's great. That's a mad thing about bodybuilding. You know, if you are a competitor, if you do this as like a life, do this field, pretty much live the bodybuilding lifestyle and compete as well. It's just crazy the amount of time and effort we put into this sport on a daily basis, every single day, 365 days a year, to then step on a stage and be up there for a minute. I'm talking about posing routine, but you're up there for 1 whole minute and then you're off, and that's it. And then only the comparisons and stuff are short anyway compared to, you get one round, maybe 2 in regional shows. So it's just it's nuts, isn't it? But we love it. For me, the process is something that I will always enjoy. I will always that's what I fell in love with at the start of this whole process, was the process and just doing the journey and documenting the journey and living as a bodybuilder pretty much. I just love the lifestyle, obviously love the training, the attention to detail when it comes to nutrition, especially in prep. And I love prep as well. Don't get me wrong, I love waking up and knowing that it's a fasted cardio day. Obviously the training is just a non-negotiable, that just gets done, and I love that as well. So there's so many aspects that I enjoy about this, and I get to do it on a daily basis. That's the best thing about it. Like every single day, I get to wake up and do what I love to do. Like I don't think there's many people out there who can say that. Like honestly, I don't think there is. People that wake up and think, let's fucking go. Like, most people don't have anything that they're striving for, or they don't really have any goals to tick off. And most people, I'm not saying all people, but I'd say a fair few people don't enjoy what they do on a daily basis. I find that pretty sad. I'm not saying I'm lucky that I found this, but I'm very, very glad that I found this, or bodybuilding found me, or whatever you want to call it, because it just gives me the ultimate purpose. Nothing else gives me purpose in life except for bodybuilding. Honestly, like, I don't know what I would do without it, which is quite scary to say, but I'm sure a lot of you are in the same boat and can relate to that if you kind of use this as your output and yeah, just the daily push, the daily grind. So gonna wrap it up there. That was pull back day. Today's rest day, and then we're in for delts and arms tomorrow, which I'm sure will be on YouTube at some point in the next few weeks ahead. But I hope you enjoyed today's session, episode 2, the Dream Big series, season 2. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below anything you want to see, any information. Feel free to chat on there. I will answer definitely as soon as I can. But yeah, we're going to wrap it up there. Condition at the moment is coming in. Legs are definitely in. Upper body is getting there. But we're only a week or two in, so I'm not really stressing out too much. It's probably like in the next few weeks we'll start to see some big changes. But I'm pretty happy where we are now. And what the week we've dropped like 4 kilo last week, which is nuts. But obviously a lot of that is water and stuff like that. So 4 kilo last week. The last 3 days I've dropped 1 kilo a day overnight. I was 120, so we're just about to go into the 120s, which is always a sad day. I never like going into the 120s because it was so hard to get there. I remember the push that we were doing, like a 2-year off-season growth phase where I wanted to get to 120, and it was a lot of food. We were eating 5,500 to 6,000 calories a day, maybe sometimes over that. To push to like 127, something like that. So to get into the 120s was a hard push. So whenever I come out with it, like last year in prep, like this year, it's always a sad moment. I never like seeing the 1-1 or the 1-0s. But gotta do what you gotta do. We need to get on stage and do the condition, inside out condition, and that's what we're going for. So we'll leave it there, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, like I just said, and we'll see you next week for some more content.